What's up, fam? Welcome to Brave Talks. My name is Manny, and I'm here with my beautiful wife,
Marlene Dominguez.
And man, this has been a long time coming.
Yes.
There's so many people that have told us, man, please start a podcast, create a space. And after years of hearing that, we finally decided we want to create a space where people can have conversation. We definitely don't want to preach at anybody, but we want to set the example. And we created Brave Talks.
So welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome. So when you think about bravery, what comes to mind? I have a definition, babe, that I'd love to share.
Dale.
So brave means ready to face and endure danger or pain, showing courage. That's like a lot.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Yeah. And when I think about having a conversation that is ready to face danger or pain or show courage, that's not like a, how was your day?
How you doing?
Small talk,
yeah.
Shallow conversation. That is beyond the surface, significant, and potentially hurtful.
Yeah.
Like in a definition. But babe, think about it. Like, when have we ever had a conversation just as best friends and spouses and partners in work and ministry where it didn't cost something in order for us to get something significant?
Right.
Like, it always comes at a cost.
Yeah.
And so this season one, we're going to have a lot of topics that we think are really compelling. We want this to be a space where, especially I think for minorities, people of color like us, that we, I think sometimes put aside the deep emotional conversations
that are needed.
Because of our tradition and culture. And I think hopefully we get to kind of fill in the gap or the chasm that exists to say no. So babe, I want to ask you, who is this podcast for? Like, this is our introductory episode.
Yeah.
If somebody's listening or watching us, who is this space for?
So this space is for everyone. This is for the young and the old, the single and the married, those who are confused, those who are wanting clarity, those who are just wanting to listen to a podcast on their way home from work. This is for everyone. This, hopefully what we can deliver out of this and you guys get to receive is a platform where we can be transparent with you and you can go out to your real world and be transparent with other people and just have grace. So that's, we've never done this before.
Right.
We love talking to each other. So this is not fairly easy. He's just my best friend. So it comes easy to me, but we want to allow you guys in conversations that we have on the regular.
Yeah.
After having kids, it gets just much harder having those deep conversations. But when we do, they're amazing. So this is for everyone, anyone who's willing to listen.
That is so good. And we also want you to contribute too.
Yeah.
So as you're listening, every episode, we're going to ask, what's a brave step that you can take in your own life? Because we are really passionate that sometimes we just need permission. Right. And sometimes permission is granted by seeing people walk in their purpose and kind of set the example and model it.
That's good.
So that's what we want to do. We are far from perfect as people, as spouses, as best friends, but we want to pioneer. We want to go first and say, we are willing to have a conversation that may require pain and endurance of danger, but we're going to show courage because that's what bravery is.
And transparency.
Yeah, babe, because when you think about brave, I think my whole childhood, I thought that brave is the absence of fear, but that's not true. Bravery is not the absence of fear, it's the presence of courage.
Right.
And I think often we think about, okay, I got to not be this, I got to not be this. But the more you focus on not being something, you become that thing.
Yeah.
It's like what we focus on grows. And I hope that in this season, we can inspire people to say like, yeah, I'm not going to focus on what I'm not. I'm not going to focus on what not to be. I'm not going to be afraid. I'm not going to be insecure. I'm going to focus on what I can be.
Yeah.
I'm going to be brave. I'm going to be confident.
Especially in this world right now.
Yeah. So yeah, we want to talk about the brave way to wrap this episode. Like, we believe that the brave way is the opposite of culture. In other words, the thing that everyone is running away from, we want to run towards. So think about it. We live in such a nihilistic culture where hedonism is the thing, and that's just a big word for the chase of pleasure. This world, and rightfully so, I get it, in our flesh, like, we are chasing things that feel good.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, you and I love things that feel good.
Right.
And we are understanding that the brave way is to also run towards things that sometimes don't feel good,
Right.
but that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Remember what we say about conflict? How sometimes conflict is the price you pay for greater intimacy. And so, and we'll talk about that in this season, but that is the brave way, is doing what sometimes doesn't really make sense for the sake of the reward,
That's
or
good.
doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Here's how I want to end, hun. I would love for our listeners to get a brave step. Do you want me to read that Bible verse?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good segue too.
And then maybe you could tell me
Encouragement.
what this means to you. So Psalm 56, verse 3, the psalmist writes, when I am afraid, not if I am afraid, but when. He's predicting he will be afraid at some point. When I'm afraid before I have this brave talk, when I'm afraid before I have this moment of conflict, when I am afraid, I put my trust in you. I love that, babe.
Yeah.
Like, it's a call to action. I'm going to put my trust
Regardless.
in you, regardless. Yeah. And then it says, in God, whose word I praise, in God I trust and am not afraid. What can mere mortals do to me?
It's simple.
What?
Yeah.
Like, so what's he doing? He's like juxtaposing, well, I'm going to do this for God. And then he thinks about people and he's like,
Yeah. Like, what you gonna do?
right.
Yeah.
If I got this, if my trust is here, then I'm not going to be afraid here.
And it's been so many times where I personally
Come on.
have been afraid and my trust was not on Jesus and my view is on mere mortals. And it is just a longer and harder healing process than it was me just literally surrendering my fear, because God didn't give us that spirit of fear. He gave us power, sound mind, and love, you know? And
Yes.
so wearing that power and sound mind, it kind of cancels out that fear in my life.
I love that you said wearing that sound mind.
For sure.
Like you're wearing that fire yellow piece.
You know what? My friend Bettina, shout out to Bettina, hooked me up postpartum.
Wow. Let's go.
And I'm just so excited to wear it. So
I just love that, babe, that like we can wear a sound mind, that we can wear bravery, we can wear love, we can wear power.
yeah.
But it all goes back to, what is your source of bravery?
Right.
What makes
where
you
does
brave?
it come from?
Yeah. And so think about that. You as a listener, whatever you're doing right now, what makes you brave? Is it a mere mortal? That's not necessarily wrong, but you got to understand, if we put that kind of pressure on a mortal, on a person, to be our source of bravery,
So disappointed all the time.
when they fail,
100%.
because we will.
Yeah.
Wow. It's okay to be inspired by a person. And I hope that we can be that. I know we are that for each other.
Yes. But we're also mere mortals.
Yes. It's
we're
like, babe, you have inspired me and you have failed me. And that's true of me to you.
Yes.
I hope that I've inspired you and I know that I've failed you. So our bravery cannot be the source of one another.
No.
We have to look beyond each other.
Right.
And just be inspired by one another. So maybe for you, your brave step is to consider, what's your source of bravery today? Is it a person? Should it continue to be a person? Is it a career? Is it a place that makes you brave? Think about that. And then consider, should that continue to be your source? And then, my love, like we read today, when we are afraid, not if, but when we are afraid, what is the brave way? Who do you look to and trust in to make you brave again? Anything else you want to say?
That's good.
All right, this has been the intro. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.